Okay, today I am going to talk about macromolecules. Now, there are four types of macromolecules, and they are lipids, proteins, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids. My presentation today is only going to be about lipids, proteins, and carbohydrates. So, let's get going. The first macromolecule I'm going to talk about is carbohydrates. The function of carbohydrates is to give us short term energy storage. Now, carbohydrates have monomers and polymers, just like all macromolecules. The monomers are monosaccharides and disaccharides, and the polymers are polysaccharides. Now, there are two types of carbohydrates. We call them simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. The difference between them is that complex carbohydrates are found in natural foods, like fruits and vegetables and legumes. Simple carbohydrates are found in sugars and processed foods, and they don't have as much nutritional value. So it's much better to eat complex carbohydrates than it is to eat simple carbohydrates. The next macromolecule I'm going to talk about is lipids. Now, so let's talk about the function of lipids. Uh, some of the functions of lipids are long term energy storage, also protection and insulation. The monomers of lipids are glycerol and fatty acids, which you see here in the picture. Can be three fatty acids connected to a glycerol or two fatty acids. Now, lipids are unique because they don't have a polymer. Another word for lipid is fat, and there are two types of fat: saturated and unsaturated. The difference between these is that saturated fats stay solid in your body and are a little more unhealthy for you, whereas unsaturated fats are more liquid and are a little bit better for your body. The last macromolecule is called protein. Now, proteins have many different functions. They don't just have one main function. For example, they control chemical reactions inside your body, they make up your bones and muscles, they help antibodies fight inside the immune system. Many, many functions. Now, the monomers of proteins are called amino acids, and the polymers are called polypeptides. Now, since our body can't make certain amino acids, we have to get the nine essential amino acids by eating complete proteins, such as beef or fish or eggs. We can also eat incomplete proteins, such as nuts or seeds or beans. Now that I've introduced the macromolecules, I'm going to be analyzing some foods. The first food I will be analyzing is Lay's salt and vinegar chips. My favorite. Now, the big three ingredients in these foods are potatoes, vegetable oil, and salt and vinegar seasoning. Let's talk about the amounts of macromolecules in this food. Now, one bag of chips, as you see here, is about 8 servings, and one serving is about 20 chips, which means there's usually about 160 chips in a bag. I'm going to be talking about information for if you only eat 20 chips. If you eat 20 chips from this bag, that has 15 grams of carbohydrates, which is 6% of your daily value. Now, 1 gram of those carbs are from fiber, and 1 gram of those carbs are from sugar. This food has 9 grams of fat in 20 chips, which is 12% of your daily value. 2.5 grams of that fat is saturated, which is 12% of your daily allowed saturated fats. And there are 0 trans fats in these chips. What 20 chips from this bag also has 2 grams of protein. Now, is this food healthy or unhealthy? I believe this food is considered unhealthy. According to an article called The Truth About Fats, found at health.harvard.edu, it says, quote, a diet a diet rich in saturated fats can drive up total cholesterol and tip the balance towards more harmful cholesterol, which prompts blockages to form in arteries in the heart and elsewhere in the body. For that reason, most nutrition experts recommend limiting saturated fat to under 10% of calories per day. Now, because of this quote, I think this food is unhealthy because normally I eat 40 to 50 chips in one sitting, which would be nearly 25% of my allowed fats and more than 10% of my daily calories, like the article says. So this could be bad for my arteries and my heart. Now, the next food I'm going to talk about is